Good morning to you. 7 a.m. here on this wet Tuesday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Iranpour. Thank you for joining us on the CW San Diego. Right now, San Diego County under a state of emergency as this rain is coming down. There's the potential for some flooding.
Yeah, we've got team coverage for you here on this storm. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live in Southcrest, which is still recovering from the devastating flooding we saw just, 2 weeks ago. And we have CBS 8's Alex Lai live in Oceanside, where lanes are expected to be closed there.
But first, we do want to send it over to meteorologist Evan Irani. A lot of green there behind you, Evan. How's it looking now?
It's looking pretty wet out there. I mean, in some spots where rain has kind of paused for a bit, we're still seeing as there's a lot of pooling, ponding on the roads from what's been about 12 hours of steady rainfall in many spots. I mean, North County disproportionately affected. They've already picked up on 2 and in some cases closer to 3 inches of accumulating rain. Down toward the South Bay, they're closer to about 1 inch. Here's what we see from Santa Barbara all the way down through San Diego. Notice we are now starting to see kind of the center of the storm shift farther south, and that means that we are going to be in for more wet weather over the course of the day today. Looks like it's going to be pretty widespread for the next several hours, but lighter stuff that we've been tracking. And then by the afternoon and the evening, we're going to be looking at a good chance of some thunderstorms moving onshore. Those thunderstorms are going to be capable of producing those strong downdrafts of wind and dropping those quick bursts of rain on us. So that's going to be likely by that 11 a.m. to about 3 p.m. stretch. But all in all, our chances of rain over the next 12 hours or so, pretty steady, 70 to 90%. It's going to be a good amount coming our way. We are going to be moving toward more on-off activity, so not quite as intense, but still accumulating for Wednesday and Thursday, and then we should be moving toward a mostly dry weekend. But of course, we have a lot going on across our county. CBS 8's Regina Yarita is live in Southcrest. That's an area that's been hit particularly hard over just 2 weeks ago by a pretty decent storm. Regina, how are things looking now?
Yeah, good morning, Evan, and I can tell you that earlier today we were seeing some rainfall, but right now all that rain has subsided. But as you mentioned, we will be looking at some widespread rain, so we could still see some raindrops or, some rainfall in the next couple of hours. But really all eyes are on this flood channel right behind me. We have been monitoring, tracking that flood channel that's right behind me. You can see the water is flowing, so that's good news. What I want you to take a look at is how the water hasn't even reached the embankment, and that is good news because this is the channel that 2 weeks ago flooded, right? It clogged and it actually flooded many homes here in this neighborhood, and many residents are still concerned that it can happen again.
It's really important that affected community members go to one of the assistance centers like the Mountain View Assistance Center that will reopen after the rains.
And so that is Andrea Guerrero, the executive director of Alliance San Diego. She's been helping residents who are still dealing with the aftermath of the January rainstorm that happened 2 weeks ago. Many say they're still waiting for the city's help, especially because they've been dealing with contamination issues. And now as we're in the middle of another rainstorm, they're concerned that they could be dealing with another round of flash floods. Now, we did reach out to the city about recent efforts. They say that they've been conducting outreach, cleaning flood channels, providing hotel vouchers, housing assistance, emergency food needs. They also have city crews on the ground in the affected areas. But CBS 8 specifically asked about the concerns of residents. A spokesperson tells us since the January 22nd storm, city staff and the community emergency response teams have done daily canvassing in affected areas. So back out here again, rain has subsided. We haven't been seeing much rain at the moment, but I do want to pull up my phone here because I was on Google Maps just to kind of show you a comparison. We've been showing you comparison pictures of what that flood channel looked like, and you can kind of see just the trees there, all that wildlife that was growing. I don't know when this picture was taken, but you can know just because of how much devastation was happening, all that debris, all that wildlife that was growing, it did clog up. Now, right now, you can see it has been cleaned up by city crews. So that is what's been going on here. But I do want to send it over to my colleague, Alex Lai, who's actually in North County. She's been experiencing some rain herself over there. That's prompted road closures. So, Alex, what's been going on?
Initially.
Thanks, Regina. Yeah, that's right. There are some road closures happening here in North County. I'm actually going to give you a look behind me. I'm at the Carlsbad Golf Center. This is a driving range completely flooded. The rain here in Carlsbad and across North County has flooded multiple areas, including this driving range. You can see the flags and poles barely peeking out of the water here, and we saw wood and plants floating through here as well. And part of this flooding also happened across North County, as I was saying, and it has caused 2 major road closures this morning that could impact your morning commute. One of these closures is the State Route 78 and El Camino Real on-ramp. Now, this is an area that's been closed before. Nearly a year ago, a storm caused a sinkhole on State Route 78 that closed part of the freeway down for days. And the other major road closures right now is the northbound 5 and Palomar Airport Road on-ramp. This on-ramp is prone to flooding, so commuters have likely seen this before. Both closures this morning are from flooding like we are seeing right now. California Highway Patrol says they don't know how long these roads will be closed, and CHP is now reporting a sinkhole in the center lane of the 78 west of College. And so back out here live, you can see this driving range flooded. This is also being seen across San Diego County, but especially here in North County, we're seeing this flooding. Luckily, the rain has stopped for the moment, but all morning we have been seeing light rain drizzling, and it is expected to continue throughout the day, as Evan was saying. So if you are seeing these roads on your morning commute, make sure to find an alternate route, plan ahead, and also drive safe in these rainy conditions. I'll pass it back to you in the studio.
Alex, thank you for that. New this morning, U.S. Border Patrol agents say a person who was trying to cross the border illegally has died. It happened near the San Ysidro port of entry in the Tijuana riverbed just after 1 this morning. Agents say there was a group of migrants crossing the river, and one of them fell into the knee-deep water. Lifeguards were then called in. They later found a man floating face down. No one else was hurt. Agents detained all of the migrants.
And now this morning, San Diego Police Department has closed some roads in the city of San Diego. So this is an updated list that they put out there that has some of the eastern, southern, northwestern divisions are impacted by the rain. So heads up, look for any of those signs that say road closed, and please avoid those areas. Reminder that county officials are urging you not to drive unless you have to. But if you cannot avoid it, you know, you have school and work to go to. Here are some tips for you. Turn those headlights on if it is actively raining. And don't slam on the brakes if you start to hydroplane. Instead, let go of the gas, keep the car straight if you can, and of course, slow down, give yourself plenty of room between you and the other cars.
Right now, part of the Pacific Coast Highway is closed in Ventura County and in Santa Barbara due to storm-related issues. In Santa Barbara, several parts of the highway are closed due to roadway flooding. It's unknown when they're going to reopen. In Ventura County, this part of the highway is closed due to erosion. They don't know when this will reopen. And this winter storm impacting many regions across California. In LA, residents there are seeing massive flooding. Look at this. Some areas say more than a foot of rain have fallen in the past 3 days. Rainfall prompting mudslides. Rescuers right now trying to save those who may have ignored evacuation orders. In Riverside County, we're looking at new photos of 6 people who had to be rescued from floodwaters yesterday morning. Witnesses say they were spotted near a bridge, standing on a sandbar or on a strip of terrain, yelling for help there. And in the Sierra Nevada mountains, 21 inches of snow has fallen in just the past 48 hours. It's impacting roads and highways, leading to slowdowns, stuck cars, and spinouts. So a lot happening around our state here and here locally. This storm is staying pretty strong here at 7:08 on this Tuesday.
And we saw the video of snow across the mountains, of course, to the north. Curious to see if we're getting snow in our mountains, Evan. I mean, we don't want people rushing up there right now.
We don't want people rushing up. There's a good opportunity that some of our mountains could pick up on closer to a full foot, maybe, of snow. But otherwise, 6 to 8 inches seems to be the general consensus for Palomar Mountain, for Mount Laguna, and that's going to be not just today, but through Thursday. So today, Tuesday, and mainly overnight, from Tuesday tonight into Wednesday, Wednesday night into Thursday, and that's where our temperatures sink down the most over the mountains and give us that good potential for snow. We get a little bit of a lull in activity right now. You can see how from the coastline through our inland valleys, we don't have much coming down as we speak, but take a look at what is stacked off of our coast. This is good indication that we will be watching as more wet weather moves our way in the coming hours and the coming days. So again, what you see coming down from the sky right now is not indication of a dry spell, for instance, or that the storm is over, but just that this on-off activity has begun, right? Where we get these little breaks embedded, and then we get those quick moving cells that move on shore that kind of spark, maybe spook you a little bit is a better way to put it. We've got already on the ground close to 3 inches up in North County. Oceanside is at 2.77 inches, 2.8 in Fallbrook, 3.3 at Palomar Mountain. When you look toward the South Bay, things are lighter. That's because the system itself is moving very slowly from north to south. So as it keeps moving south, we'll see some heavier accumulations down toward the South Bay. It is losing momentum as it does so. And that means that Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to be looking toward more scattered on-off activity as opposed to the widespread stuff that we've been picking up on throughout the morning and throughout the rest of the day. Good opportunity for a few scattered thunderstorms as well. From Friday to Saturday, that activity is also going to start to break apart. And then we'll see as Sunday through the beginning and middle portion of next week gets us back to those dry skies. Let's time out the remainder of the day. Here's 8:30. Now, yesterday, these models were not the most reliable, and that's because they were pointing to more moderate to heavy rain coming on shore, and things stayed pretty light for the morning stretch. Now, this current model shows that these stronger cells are going to be moving on shore. Good opportunity for that to come in the form of light rain, and then for some smaller pockets in there to be moderate. And it looks like as you look up toward North County, they're going to, of course, get the heavier stuff versus the South Bay, for example. But there's going to be that turn by the evening hours for some scattered thunderstorms. And that's where we see pretty much every spot up for grabs in terms of who could see that thunderstorm activity take place by the afternoon and evening stretch. Overnight from tonight into early tomorrow, snow levels drop down, and that means we're going to start to pick up on those more moderate accumulations off toward our local mountaintops. Again, most of this activity is going to come in the overnight stretch. So when we pause these models at, say, 3:30 a.m., you might have noticed that quick swath of rain coming through. Not a lot of people are out and about between, say, midnight and 4 a.m. on a weeknight. But if you are going to be out and about, if you're driving around, whatever's going on, make sure to keep in mind that you are probably going to get hit by those quick downbursts of rain, of wind, down drafts of wind. In terms of additional accumulations, what we could see between now and the end of the week, we're looking at a good opportunity for between now and the end of the day, half an inch or so. By the end of the week, an inch, maybe an inch and a half. So here's 1 a.m. on Friday morning when the storm is basically exiting, and we're likely going to have an additional inch to maybe 2 inches on the ground compared to what we've seen so far. That means in total, we'll be looking at about 3 to 4 inches for the entirety of this atmospheric river. We've already picked up on about 2 inches in downtown San Diego. That is nearly what we would expect in an entire month of February in just the first few days, first 6 days or so. As we get into tomorrow, we will see some on-off activity continue. Thursday, on-off scattered showers, a little bit of the sun peeking through close to the coastline. More sunshine by Friday, much fewer showers arriving on shore. And then into the weekend, early next week, we are back to those dry skies. We'll be seeing those temperatures warming up just slightly, but a good idea still to have a jacket with you going into the weekend and early next week. Temperatures are still cooler than average. Let's check in on traffic at 7:13 right now. So far, your roads are all right. They're very wet out there, so make sure you take it smooth. Southbound 5, Oceanside Boulevard. It is wet. Rain is not falling as we speak, but you can see how there is going to be plenty of pooling and ponding on the roads depending on where you are. CBS8.com/traffic can give you more of the latest on what to expect on your morning commute. Netta?
Thank you so much, Evan. And remember, keep up with the latest weather conditions, any alerts, even when you're on the go. Just download the free CBS 8 app. You'll find it on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and show us the weather or any damage near where you are, if it's safe to do so, of course. Share photos and videos through the CBS 8 app under the Near Me section, and then you click Share with Us.